It's the anti-checker.
We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical difficulties.
There we go. I muted. Oh, man. 2-year anniversary, and I pulled a BIRDOPREY. Go figure. Now I got to wait for the stupid delay while all of you guys are going, sound, 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 when I fixed it already, but yeah. Oh, man. It's been, yeah, that's... So, what I was saying, and Thomas seems to be trying to weld the camera here. Thank you, Thomas. What I was saying is today was my last pre-surgery doctor's appointment. And then after that, Mrs. Anti-Checker needed me to take her to the store and stuff to get some food and stuff because we have my daughter and her boyfriend coming to stay with us for about a week. They're coming in a few days after the surgery. And so she wanted to get all the supplies necessary for that before I'm, down and out for a while. So just got home a few minutes ago. Mrs. Antichecker and Joshua are unloading the car even as I speak. And here I am. So to the chat we go. Sorry about the sound issue a minute ago. Thomas was first. Amazing, by the way. So you consider that Thomas is building this beautiful restaurant right behind me, Alexander's Restaurant, doing a wonderful job, and yet is still first on the live stream. Pretty darn impressive. Amanda Schran says hello. Kongu says first, and then says ooh. John, the former peasant, says hi. Captain Cat says hi. And Thomas throws a $1.99, says happy 2 years. And number 22, Mr. Miles's favorite. And thank you so much, Thomas. I do appreciate it. Mike Richards is here from Columbus, Ohio. Good to see you. Thanks. I couldn't take staring at Steve Shive's ugly face. Okay. And Surf Tractonics donates $17.01. Thank you so much. What a wonderful number that is. And in fact, I'm actually... I'll tell you, I'm very excited about something involving that number. I'll tell you about it in a couple of minutes. But yeah, which Surf says breaks out $2.57 a month for 2 years is well worth the greatest streaming show on the air. One Starbucks coffee a month. Thank you so much, my friend. I truly, truly appreciate it. And I also really like Starbucks coffee. So that's a win-win. So BIRDOPREY was saying, thanks, couldn't take staring at Steve Shive's ugly face. Well, you don't have to stare at Steve. First of all, yeah, you don't have to stare at him. You really don't. You can not, if you want to hear his content, you can not look at the screen. Think about Raiders of the Lost Ark when Indy is saying, please don't look at it, keep your eyes shut. You could do that. I can't. Azeen says, hello there. Happy channel birthday. Thank you, Azeen. John DeMarco says, hello. Darth Maul says, good day for a run. Yeah, I ain't running anywhere. Not for a while. Not Ryan John says, I'm here, or am I? I don't know. Are you, or are you not? It's hard to tell because all I can see is text. Son of a Red Shirt says, fantastic milestone. Happy 2nd anniversary. Thank you. Kongu says, yo, Andrew, I saw you at a King Crimson concert a few nights ago. Was that you? I don't even know who King Crimson is. So, no, I'm pretty sure that was not me. And I have not been to a concert in a while. So I hope it was awesome. like I said, I don't know what style King Crimson is or anything, but whatever it was, I hope it was the best, and I hope you had a great time. John says, the terrible twos. Actually, I'm looking forward to what I think is going to be the terrific twos. I know that sounds like a cheesy, like motivational speaker kind of thing, but here's the thing. The first year on this channel was kind of an experiment. I didn't know if I was going to go anywhere with it, but it started to get some success, so that made me excited. The second year on this channel was absolute and total hell on earth. Not because of anything with the channel directly, but as you guys know, this last year for me and Mrs. Anti-Trekker has been absolutely, undeniably the worst year of our 30 plus years together. It has just been heartache after heartache, headache after headache, and you know, I'm so glad that is done. And the surgery is even on the day before my first live video went up on the channel, so which is day after tomorrow. So I'm just trying to stay optimistic. I think year 3, as we're moving forward, so you know, is going to be an improvement from year 2, and I don't think there's any way it couldn't be, unless all of a sudden every family member we still have alive drops dead or something. So I really think that year 3 is going to be a step in the right direction, both for the channel and for me and Mrs. Anti-Trekker's personal lives. So I'm very, very excited about what the future is. John says, congrats on 2 years. Thank you. Captain Cat says, I thought Steve's BIRDOPREY, I thought Steve was your best friend. Well, that's the thing. Steve is BIRDOPREY's best friend. I don't know why he's being mean to him like that. I mean, what most people don't realize is that Steve actually lives in a box underneath BIRDOPREY's bed. Stromer says, greetings, Anti-Trekker and fellow nerds. Hey, not Ryan John says, BIRDOPREY, you know you love Steve Shives like you love a Jeep. Oh, yeah, he loves him like a Jeep, all right. Rambling Canuck, haven't seen you in a while, says, hello, Anti-Trekker, and I've been away because my pain level has just been way too high, but finally getting back on track, so hope all is well. Thank you, Rambling. I hope you are doing okay. I know that you have got, you know, you and I are like pain buddies, so I get that, man. And I hope that, you know, you can get things under control. I am really, really, really looking forward to the surgery because I just, yeah, I need to move forward and get out of this cycle of pain. So yeah. All right, so there's all the comments about me not having the sound on like an idiot. Mr. Miles says, oops, didn't realize you went live. Hey, Mr. Miles. All's weld that ends weld. And Tom says, I was trying to get your attention. I figured that, but as you could probably tell now, Thomas, when you were watching it, the delay between when I say something and when it actually shows up on your screen is so great that by the time you got up there and started welding, I had already fixed the sound issue. So yeah. Son of a Red Shirt says, hello, how you doing? Surf with his 1701, beautiful number. So let me tell you, here's the thing. As many of you know, over the weekend, the insurance company called me and decided to total out the truck, which really had me upset because I put a lot of work into that truck, had a lot of custom stuff, but it's gone, and you know, no use crying over spilt milk. So we picked up another vehicle yesterday, and because we had to get something, and we ended up getting a 2016 Chevy Equinox. Now, and let me see if but here's the thing. So the Equinox that we got is white. And so let me see if I can find a picture of one. Here we go. So if I go over here, this is the vehicle we now have. This white midsize SUV. Now I'll tell you, it's comfortable. It's got a decent amount of power, and it's a V6. Seats are comfortable. It's easy for me to get in and out of, which is the most important thing for me. So overall, decent vehicle. But I then took the liberty of ordering some vinyl wrap material, you know, that you would use to wrap a vehicle, which is what they did to what I did with my truck. My truck was originally white, and I wrapped it in a red vinyl wrap, and it looked really nice. But This one, I'm getting wrap, and I'm going to trim it and cut it, and I'm going to spend basically a little bit of my time in my convalescence cutting these decals out to do that up so that the Chevy Equinox has all the proper markings of a Federation shuttlecraft. So that's why, and so it will say 1701 on the side there, where it should say 1701. So that's what you made me think of that, Surf. So there you go. Let's see. Let's see. And then Captain Katz checking on Surf's math. I'm not going to grade him on his math because I appreciate the donation no matter whether it's correct or not. John says, hey, Trigger, wouldn't Alexander's restaurant be a Hooters with nothing but Aunt May clones? Well, you would think so, but you know, it has to. You can see we're pulling out all the stops. There's a nice VIP area that Thomas is working on, and those stairs go down below where there's free room and board for anyone that wants to stay. Like if you drink a little too much and you don't want to fly your ship home, you can go downstairs and sleep in one of the free cryo tubes there. However, the name of the restaurant is Aunt May's Naked Chicken, and there will be pictures of Aunt May, 7 of 9, and all of Alexander's other favorite things all throughout the restaurant. So very much looking forward to when we get that done. Thomas has been doing a lot of work on it. I can't wait. Mr. Miles says, Laura Reloaded is doing a stream about chives. Really? Why is everybody talking about chives? Look, I've been out of the loop, guys. I've been at doctor's appointments, car shopping, and on my weekend getaway with Mrs. Anti-Trigger. I have no idea what's going on in the world. Somebody tell me, why is everybody talking about Steve Shives? Did he do something, or is it just a Steve Shives kind of day? BIRDOPREY says, I didn't want to hear his content either, but Lore was streaming it. Oh, okay, so you were listening to Lore, who was streaming Steve Shives. What? Okay. Nightbreeze says, hi, how you doing? And congrats on 2 years. Thank you, my friend. Josh Street says, did you stop at Bird and Alpaca Beagle Bites so that so you can support Sassy, earn money so she can get away from Bird? Well, Sassy, keep in mind, Josh, Sassy is actually an undercover agent for Turtistan. She feeds us a lot of information. So, yeah. Sci-Fi Sis says, hello there, Trigger. Where's the champagne to crack open and drink? Yeah, I didn't get any champagne. I should. Yeah, now I feel bad because I got to do something on the 4th, which is the day after my surgery. On the 4th, I'm going to probably do a long live stream talking about the channel because the 4th will actually be the 2-year anniversary from the date that my first video went up and I got my first copyright strike on this channel. And so, that's, you know what? I'll probably get some champagne there because that'll be after the surgery. I'll be excited about that and probably in pain. So yeah, I'm going to pick up a bottle of something, I think, next time I go out to the store. That's actually, thank you, Sci-Fi. I'm going to do that. Hopefully I'll remember because I have a horrible memory. Schromer says, congratulations for 2 very entertaining, enjoyable years of your channel. Thank you, Schromer, and here's to many more. Hopefully we can get things going back in the right direction. Keith Hamilton says, put flames on it. No. It's going to have a red stripe with a yellow accent. It's going to have the, USS Enterprise, NCC 1701-23. We know that the Galileo is NCC 1701-7. So my personal shuttle will be number 23. And Nightbreeze puts a couple of bucks into the chat, says $2 for 2 years, your choice of Super Chat. Ooh, man, you make it tough, but I got to pick...
The toast and eggs are really good, but there seems to be something missing. Yeah, that's what you're having for breakfast? That simply won't do. Follow me instead. What kind of place are you taking us to? A place that will introduce you to Frosted Fruity Hulls. Not only does it have 4 unique fruity flavors, but it also has a glazed frost that makes it extra yummy. How do they get so deliciously frosty? The frostiness of Frosted Fruity Hulls, of course, comes from this hull. Part of a complete nutritious breakfast.
I do love me the Frosted Fruity Holes. So, like, if we look at this, here's a nice little diagram of the painting on the shuttle. So, if you notice, my cursor is up here. So, this red stripe will be going down the side of the vehicle with the USS Enterprise listed NCC 1701-23 for my personal shuttle. So all that I'm going to do exactly as it originally appears on the show. The only thing I'm going to change, of course, is the Galileo and the number 7 to 23. So I haven't named the shuttle yet. And so I was talking to Mrs. Antitrigger about some ideas, but I'm not 100% sure what we want to name the shuttle just yet. So I am open to suggestions as to what to name my personal shuttlecraft. And so, yes. Let's get back to it. Eric is in the house, says, good evening. Glad to hear that you're feeling better. I'm not quite better yet, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And so, but thank you, Eric. Rock Solid is in the house, says, remember, turn on the mic and camera before streaming, smash the like button, tickle the subscribe button, share via socials, donate if you can, join the Patreon, and down with Karoga. Thank you, my friend. And then he says, did you happen to see the pickups video I posted Sunday with the items that will be heading your way? I have not, dang. I'm sorry. You know what? This last 48 hours have been absolute madness for me, so I apologize. But tell you what, Roxanne, if you probably already did. I haven't been on Discord much in the last couple of days either. I don't know if you sent it to me there. If you didn't, send it to me and I will check it out for sure. Let's see. I look forward to seeing the results of your shuttle frying your car. Shuttle-fying your car. Yes, I think that'll be a lot of fun. And I'm just not going to let BIRDOPREY drive it for obvious reasons. Josh says, I just hope you can get the, hope you don't get the STD shuttle decals. That is not going to happen. And Darth Maul says, there's hope for Alexander now. Aunt May back in the MCU. Yes, that is very true. Alexander, I know, is excited about that. Tom says, I think it's finished unless you want anything else. Oh, you done with the restaurant? Awesome, my friend. I just got to put the pictures up and stuff. So very cool. I will check it. I mean, it looks beautiful, but I will check it out in detail and probably do a video about it in the very near future here. Let's see. Sir says, Andrew, I counted all my donations with this one to get $257 per month. No problem. I appreciate that. And Nassim Agdem says, it just ended. Are you talking about the Lore Reloaded stream? Okay. What was Lore talking about with Steve? I wasn't trying to grade him. I'm just trying to make sure my mind was reading it correctly. Okay. Howdy, folks. It's Vile Mike. Hey, Vile. How you doing? Steve Shives is the whistleblower. I kind of doubt that. Well, you know what? Actually, I wouldn't doubt it because that would just mean that he made stuff up. And, yeah, I could see him doing that. Dan says Sony Spider-Man movie universe is developing a Madam Web film. That is an absolutely horrible idea. I will tell you, Madam Web, now in that Spider-Man animated series, there actually was a good animated series overall, but the Madam Web thing was the absolute dumbest thing on that show. Now, I don't know if Madam Web was in the comic books. If she was, because I was not a huge, I have a decent amount of Spider-Man, not a ton, and I didn't, and I stopped reading comics around the early 1990s. So I don't know if that, maybe she popped in around then. I don't know. But I just hated her. I thought she was a stupid idea. Why have this super cosmic being named Madam Web who just happens to be obsessed with spiders? Or it's just stupid. Roxanne said, I had an original Equinox, loved it. Since the original model, they've narrowed up the cabin, widened the center console, and just ruined the car. And now I have an Acadia. Well, I like this one. I don't know, I haven't followed the Equinox over time, so I've never, this is actually the first Chevy I've ever owned. So, yeah, I don't know. And there's Night Breezes, $2. Thank you again, my friend. Ramasaurus. See, I got it. Ramasaurus says, congrats on the 2 years. Thank you, my friend. I do appreciate it. Darth Revan. Hey, I see you got Darth Revan back. Congratulations on 2 years. Here's to another 10. Thank you, my friend. I hope you are quite correct. Dan says, in addition to Morbius, Venom 2, and multiple Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse follow-ups in the works, there will be the Madam Web. Yeah, you know what? Venom 2 I'm down with. Morbius, maybe. Into the Spider-Verse follow-up, I'm totally cool with, but Madam Web, I think, is a really bad idea, especially if it's not going to involve the MCU. I mean, what are they going to do with her? Just have her sitting in her spiderweb chair and talking about Venom? Let's see. Write a shopping list to pick up champagne for your channel's anniversary. You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to say... I probably won't get champagne because champagne is usually too dry, and I like sweet. I'll probably get something like Asti Spumante. I like that stuff, but unless one of you guys can recommend a really good sweet champagne. It's just for some reason everybody loves freaking dry champagne, and I think it's nasty. I need a bottle of champagne. Champagne. All right. That's what... No, somebody needs to come out with a champagne brand. That would be awesome. Let's see. Number 23 for your shuttle. Will your shuttle be called the Spinning Spock? I considered that, John. I did. But no, it's 23 because 23 is my favorite number and Mrs. Antitricker's favorite number. And that's also by coincidence... Actually, it's not a coincidence. That's why Spinning Spock is number 23, because 23 is my favorite number. So the thing, I met Mrs. Antitricker on December 23rd, 1987. We got married on December 23rd, 1993. So, and I proposed to her, I believe, I'm probably going to get this wrong, and Mrs. Antitricker is going to call me out on it and say what an idiot I am. I think I proposed to her on, like, I want to say May 23rd, 1988, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I know it was on the 23rd, but I can't remember which month for sure. So the number 23 was significant for us. So, and then on our 23rd wedding anniversary, on December 23rd, our 23rd wedding anniversary, we got these tattoos. Mrs. Antitricker has one exactly like it on her wrist, and that is a Hebrew number 23. So, yeah, there you go. That's all the 23s. Now, am I into numerology or any of that? No. I don't think that there's anything special about the number 23. However, since we happen to meet on the 23rd, that's where that came from. And it has nothing to do with the fact that Dan23's username is Dan23. So, let's see. And then Star Trek says, Antitricker, you nerd, putting Star Trek decals on your vehicle, says me with personalized plate, 1701 license plate on his Wrangler and 1701A on his Victory. Very good. And I'll tell you, you know, it's funny. One thing I'm kind of mad is that in Tennessee, you only have one license plate. In a lot of states, you have a license plate on the front and the back of the vehicle. In Tennessee, you only have a license plate on the back of your vehicle. But cars are manufactured for all 50 states, which means they have license plate frames in the front, even though Tennessee doesn't put license plates in the front. So I had a novelty plate on the front of my truck, and I forgot to get it, and I feel so bad because it's now sitting in the wrecker's yard. But it actually, the license plate number said NCC-1701, and then where it would normally say the name of the state, it says USS Enterprise. I really love that, and unfortunately, it's gone. So I'm going to have to get another fake license plate for the front of the vehicle as well. And then, yes. Let's see. Did you ask Joshua about the Frosted Fruity Hole cereal box mock-up? Not yet, because he's got more important things he's worried about right now. Mike, I'm not going to take on any major new projects until after the surgery and things settle down. So give me a couple of weeks and then remind me. Dan says, when you refer to TOS as how it originally appears, do you mean the original version or the remastered version? Well, as far as the decal placement on the shuttlecraft, that didn't change as far as the appearance. Like this is a really good mock-up of it, but as far as the placement of said decals on the shuttle. And so that doesn't change in the remastered version, except that, for example, in the original, since they only had one shuttlecraft model, every shuttlecraft we ever saw was the Galileo 7. However, because the remastered had digital models, they, like we saw the Columbia and stuff like that, and we could actually see the name. We also saw like the Starbase shuttlecraft from Court Martial, stuff like that. So we actually got some variants on the shuttles, but I'm going to stick with the original layout of the shuttle decals as you see in this diagram. And so the sides of the vehicle, of course I have to adapt it a little bit to the shape of the Equinox. So obviously, like, I like the way that the NCC 1701-7 is really big and takes up the entire back part there. Well, there's windows right there on the vehicle, so you can't and the windows are tinted black, so you wouldn't be able to see it if you did that accurately. So that I'll have to scale down a bit. Same thing with the Galileo signature on the side of the vehicle. That will have to be scaled down. And in fact, I'm probably going to move it to the other side of where the door is, leaning the opposite direction. But the hood will be, have the USS Enterprise at the bottom and the Galileo or whatever we name it above that. I think it'll be cool. And so, but I do need, of course, a name for the shuttle. That's going to be important. Let's see. Josh says, Bird Alpaca is the name of your Jeep. BIRDOPREY says Bounty Bay or the Shives. Let's see. The Unbreakable Shuttlecraft. Nassim says, you look good and nice haircut. Did you lose weight? Tell me your secret. I actually did lose some weight. And that is my secret. I have the best wife on the planet. And basically, I said, look, babe, you are the ultimate boss when it comes to food. If you say no, that's the final answer. So that way, I can still have good food, but if I'm pushing it too far, she puts down she says, nope, not going to happen. Also, Auntie is a big part of it. And I'll tell you this, Nassim, if you don't have a dog, get one. Because don't get a little dog like Puka. Our Pomeranian is an adorable little dog, but I'm saying get a dog that's at least a medium-sized dog like a beagle. And the reason I say that is Auntie has to go for at least 3 walks every day. If you don't take her for a walk, you end up with a really disgusting pile of something in your house. So that forces me to get up and go for about, half a mile to a mile walk 3 times a day. That makes a big difference. Now, it's hard on the knee right now. It'll be a lot easier after the surgery and after I'm recovered. But that has helped a great deal. It's forced me to be more physically active because normally, especially when you got a bum knee like I do, I don't like to walk anywhere. And so so this is forcing me to be more physically active. I that's really, if anything, is my secret is Auntie. Auntie has helped me lose weight a ton. Bird says the Shatner's not bad. If not spinning Spock, maybe you could call the shuttle the Quantum. Well, except that now the tradition of shuttles is that they're all named after people, right? Like the ship is named the Enterprise, but the shuttle is named after Galileo. And the shuttles were all named after different people, if I remember correctly. Dan says TOS shuttles didn't have weapons. Well, that is debatable. We've never seen a TOS shuttle use weapons on screen that I know of, but that doesn't mean they didn't have them. We've just never seen them. Disaster on Wheels. Wow. Let's see. I was surprised how much hate Lord Reloaded got for not totally disagreeing with everything Steve Shive said. Well, I didn't see the stream, so I don't know what he was saying. I don't know what the topic was. All I know is he was talking about Steve Shive, so don't know. And Roxanne said, all good, do not post on Discord. It's my Southeast Game Exchange video. All right, Rock Solid, I will check that out. And I'll be honest with you, I apologize that I don't catch more of your videos.
Hello, everybody.
But it's more, it's not because I don't like what you do. It's just because I don't have a lot of time. And I have told people, if you're into retro gaming, this right here is where you want to go. This is Rock Solid's channel. This is the video he was talking about, what I'm going to check out after this live stream. So definitely check Rock Solid out. He's the man. Madam Wed was Stan Lee's wife turned into a superhero. Be nice now. I don't care where she came from. It's still stupid. It's still stupid. You should name one of your ships and space engineers the SOB Shives. There you go. Yeah, Bird, you should do I love Morbius, so I'm hoping they don't mess it up. I hope they don't mess him up as well. But the problem with Morbius, honestly, if they're going to start doing vampires, I think that Sony should just sell it to Marvel and let's bring in full-on Dracula, Blade, Morbius. Let's bring all the vampires in and create a dark side to the MCU. And I think that could be really cool. I think having Morbius in the Venomverse or whatever they're going to end up calling it, it could be good, but it's going to feel underwhelming. Vile says, I could see a Madam Web movie where she gathers the various spider folks across the multiverse and acts like Professor X Charlie's for Charlie's Angels type of character. Well, that's kind of what she did in the animated show, but I just didn't care for it. Rock says, if you're making a to-do list, make sure you pay Mr. Miles. Already done. I did pay Mr. Miles, so he was able to get that cup of water that he'd been dreaming about. Name it the Decker. He paid me eventually. I was able to afford a pizza. I have to make it last. Though. Yes, you have one pizza for the month. Enter. I gave Lore $10.17, and he could not name the ship. You gave him $10.17, and he could not name the ship. Who is the real Trekpert? Oh man, $10.17. That is man, that is like right on the tip of my tongue. Man. Is that I'm picturing it. I know it's one of the ships that appeared in the series. Oh, duh, it's Decker's ship, the Constellation, right? I should have thought of that because Keith just said the Decker. Aberjam says, happy second birthday. Thank you, Aberjam. Luke Fovark is in the house. Thank you so much. And Bacon Warrior 999 donated $1. It's happy 2 years. Thank you so much, Bacon. Everybody loves you because you're Bacon. And happy 2 years. Hope you go for 100 more. Hashtag Karoga rules. Well, aside from your hashtag, I think you were slightly mistaken there. But thank you, my friend. And what are you doing, Thomas? Why are you pointing a gun at me? I'm not doing anything wrong. Thomas is making me nervous here. Man. So welcome, Luke. I haven't seen you in a little while. I hope you are well, my friend. In fact, it's so funny. Me and Mrs. Antrecker were actually talking about you when we were out running around today because I put on one of my absolute favorite classic synth artists, Jean-Michel Jarre. And she's like, oh my God, you actually like him. He's French. And I was like, well, yeah, but so's Luke. My last divorce happened on December 23rd, 2015. The number 23, I can stick it. I understand that, rock solid. But you know what? For me, obviously, December 23rd is a great day. For you, not so much. But I am truly sorry about that. By the way, Luke, if you want to super chat, you know the rules. So I know I don't have to remind you, but I did. You could call it the Ptolemy? I don't know what that is. Vile says, howdy, Luke, my favorite French Trekkie. Yes, I think Luke is everybody's favorite French Trekkie. Ohio is going to do one license plate April 2020. Yeah, we've been doing that here in Tennessee since we moved here. We've been here for about 5 years now. And, honestly, I think that makes sense. It cuts back on a lot of wasted expense. Dan says, my username was 23 in it because I was born on the 23rd. Well, there you go. Very good. Rockstar says, link to the pickups video sent via Discord. You can check this during the stream and even play it too. Oh, so now you're trying to get me to turn my stream into just a commercial for Rock Solid? I see how it is. Rock Solid. No, I'll check it out later. I don't want to get sidetracked and then fall massively behind in the chat, which I always do anyway, because even as it is, I'm 10 minutes behind. Charles says, hey, Trigger, who was more mentally unbalanced, Captain Janeway or Michael Burnham? Both did very questionable things. I think Captain Ransom got a bad rap when compared to the other two. Well, Captain Janeway's was inconsistent. Sometimes Captain Janeway, I would say, is kind of bipolar in a sense. She'll do the correct and moral and righteous and good thing. Then the next week, she'll do the opposite of that thing, right? And so Captain Janeway is extraordinarily inconsistent, and I do think suffers from a form of bipolar disorder. Now, Burnham, on the other hand, is a straight-up psychopath, and also narcissist and suffers from delusions of grandeur. So I would dare say that, and the sad thing is that with Burnham, her narcissism and delusions are so strong that she genuinely believes that everybody around her agrees with everything she says, and that's what most people don't realize. Oh man, I'm going to do a video on this now. I think it's a total stroke of genius here. The entire run of Star Trek Discovery is nothing more than a delusion in the mind of Michael Burnham. None of it is real. It's all just her crazy. So there we go. Name the shuttle the Harry Mudd. Not, you should do this file and name the shuttle the Vile Child. That's what I would do. Isn't Decker a pedophile? Not that I know of. Why would? Yeah, I don't think that Decker was a pedophile. Shuttle should be named the Crapello. Star Trek says, name your Equinox Ransom and put a tortured alien in the back window for speed. That's actually not bad. If I, you know what, that would not be bad. And only diehards would figure that out. Captain MKG says, here's to another 2 years. Thank you, my friend. Surf says, anti-O2. You know, actually, it's funny. I'm going to try to get a license plate that has either anti in it or like A-Trekker or something like that. It's going to be tough. So I'm going to try to get a cool license plate for it, too. Which I shouldn't show you guys because then someone will, like, try to track me down or something. But whatever. How about the... Oh gosh, I can't pronounce that. Vile after Tycho. I'm for some reason my dyslexia is kicking in hard here, so I can't read that. Cinnabon says, when you get a free minute later, can you hit me up on Skype? I will try, Cinnabon. It's going to be really kind of crazy around here, but I will try. Jason says, happy channel birthday. Sorry I couldn't get you anything. I'm trying to help BIRDOPREY offset the cost of his Corrogaine. That's okay. We need to get BIRDOPREY some more Corrogaine. You know, he looked good when he popped out that natural Trump hair for a while, and then it just disappeared. I think he needs more Corrogaine. Mr. Miles says, the ancient Chinese believed numbers conveyed sexuality, evens for feminine and odds for masculine. They considered prime numbers to be the most masculine, conferring special status on 23, which is made of 2 consecutive prime numbers and the only even prime number 2. Interesting. I didn't know any of that. So I guess I'm uber masculine because I like the number 23. Total Anthony says, sup, big fella. Hope you're doing well as usual. I don't get notified when you're live. Of course not, because YouTube hates me, but thank you, my friend. Roxas says, 90 plus consoles, 500 plus games, 100% no life. Sigh. Oh, but you love it. You love it. Star Trek says, lore also claims TOS shuttles never showed windows, so it doesn't make him right. Did he really? I didn't catch that one. That's good. I got to get the footage of lore saying that. You know what? I would... If somebody can get me to the footage of lore saying that, please do, because I will make a fail video out of that. So please, somebody find that. Ramasaurus says, Shatner. A lot of people seem to like the Shatner. Do you have to retake driving tests after your knee operation? No. The government only requires you redo the driving test, I think, if you are permanently disabled, or if you get your license revoked or suspended. which I think, personally, I think people should have to retake their driving test like once every 5 years or so. I genuinely do. The Yorktown Constellation, 1017 is Constellation. Yeah, I got that, so I get credit, I hope. Antrek, have you seen the new BIRDOPREY trailer that came out today? It looks like a dumpster fire incoming. I have not seen it. I will check it out, but it already looked like a dumpster fire to me, so yeah. And DS9 runabouts were named after rivers or seas or oceans, I think. Yes, the Rio Grande, for example, the Danube. Yeah, so, but that's the runabouts. Runabouts are not shuttles. Runabouts are actually very small starships. And so the runabouts are these, if I remember correctly, and I am, you know, I could be wrong, so don't be too mad if I am. However, my understanding is the runabouts are the smallest ship that in the Federation that is not considered a shuttle. That it is, you know, so that's basically what I think it is. Lee is saying blame, not sure why. I back and forgot to change the name. Not sure what you mean there. I have Discord now. Very good. I just heading out to Spanish lessons. Forgot everything I've learned over the summer. Well, I can order at Taco Bell. That's about it for me. Luke is laughing at the number 23. Yeah, I actually, you know what? That Jim Carrey movie, the number 23, I actually enjoyed. I know a lot of people hated it for some reason, but I actually liked it. It's kind of weird, but I enjoyed it. Do you think the Constellation class was made after the Constellation was destroyed by the Doomsday Machine and named after that ship? You know, that's an interesting idea. That... And like, if the Constellation class was a ship designed in honor of Decker, which I could see that, but, you know, there's no lore to support it, but I like the idea. I do. Name it the Tall Hobbit. I actually suggested to Mrs. Antrigger that we called the Baggins. And so I thought that'd be good. Roxel says, hell yeah, commercials rule. Okay.
Hello,
oh, for you mean, yeah. And Vapor Trail throws 500 Filipino pesos, I think it is. And so thank you so much. And then what did you say? Hi, Trekker, it's Ray with the funny Filipino money again. The name changed, but it's still the same retired military drunk a-hole. Thanks for the laughs and great content. Thank you, my friend. And you know what? You may be a retired military drunk a-hole, but you're okay in my book as long as you give me money. Because I'm a greedy bastard. And that has not changed in 2 years. Let's see. John DeMarco says, Janeway was all over the place. Burnham was consistently terrible. Yes, and that's why I say Burnham is way worse than Janeway. Janeway had moments of greatness. Burnham never did. The funny thing is that everything, like, I've been the first to say that there are episodes of season 2 of Discovery, one in particular that I actually enjoyed, but Burnham was never good. Everything that I enjoyed about Star Trek Discovery thus far has had zero to do with Michael Burnham, unless you consider the fact that Spock was technically her relative. But that's, you know, that's like kind of pushing. You know, it wasn't anything directly from Burnham that I enjoyed. It's just that I did like Ethan Peck's Spock, and I really liked Anson Mount's Pike, and I do want to see a Spock Pike series. And let's see. I would say Burnham was more unstable, as Janeway almost has an excuse in is in command of a ship 73,000 light years from home. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Janeway you can kind of work with. Burnham you can't. Burnham straight up committed mutiny. She assaulted her commanding officer. She tried to commit murder on a massive scale against the Klingons. Keep in mind that at the time, the Klingons did nothing. They decloaked. That's all they did. And Burnham already murdered one of their crew. So, yeah, there's a problem here. Do you think Michael Burnham do you think Michael Burnham is a straight up psychopath, Handtrigger? Did you just assume her sexuality, calling her straight? Well, no, straight up psychopath doesn't necessarily imply gender orientation. What's the shuttle we're trying to name? Luke, it's my personal shuttle. that the way this all started, Luke, is that my truck was totaled by the insurance people. We got a white SUV and so I'm ordering some red, yellow, and black vinyl to put on it to basically make giant shuttle decals to make it look like a Starfleet shuttlecraft. So, but I need a name for it. Everything else I know, because, but it's going to be an Enterprise shuttlecraft, because I was thinking about using like the USS Anti-Trekker or something like that, but I decided to do Enterprise because nobody would know what the Anti-Trekker was. People know what the Enterprise is. And so the only thing I'm going to do custom is the number after the 1701 and the name of the shuttle, but I need the name. I already have the number. Since the car is an Equinox, it should be called a Ransom. I like that, but the problem is Ransom doesn't deserve to have a ship named after him. Just saying. I'm still partial to the idea of STD being one of Barclay's Hollow programs. I could see that, but I think it's just like they should have the final episode of STD end with Burnham in a padded rubber cell, drooling on herself, going, "Oh, I'm the best. I'm Michael Burnham. I saved everybody." And then, we find out that she was just crazy. The P is silent, as in the Ptolemy, when the Greek where the Greek rulers of Egypt after Alexander the Great's empire and before Rome took over. Gotcha. I think. Mr. Wild says, "Hey, Jagger, it would make sense if Burnham was the main character of a holodeck program. It would all make perfect sense." FYI, the video sent you is a link to the ending got not Ryan Johnson choked up and teary-eyed. No joke. Well, wow, I can't wait to see it now. Also, Tommy wept from the animated series. See, I don't remember that now. You guys are messing with my head here. I'm just tired, I think. Aberjam says, "Birds of Prey trailer dropped today. Totally underwhelming. The whole thing was just a Harley Quinn showcase." Yeah, I think that's... I think what they're going to do is they're going to try to push Harley because she was popular in the comics. But the problem is, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Some people thought it was okay. Most people that were fans, like, for example, just say that she's very inconsistent. Sometimes she has the accent, sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she acts like Harley, sometimes she doesn't. Her character does not feel like Harley Quinn to me. Not at all. Were some Star Trek anniversaries recently? Discovery, Show, USS Defiant, TNG, and Voyager. Yes. And by the way, the Discovery, the original creation of my channel was a direct response to the premiere of Discovery. I think Caesar was stabbed 23 times. Well, that's a good one, I suppose. Ramasaurus says, "You missed it. Shatner." Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. But, Shatner would actually be a good name, I think. As would Nimoy or even Roddenberry, but I'm not going to do Roddenberry. I might do Shatner because I love William Shatner. After meeting him the one time, I think he's a great guy. So I could see doing the Shatner. That sounded really, really wrong. What's worse, shows and films making VR games or TV film companies making their own streaming subscription service? Well, I would have to say the VR games just because I'm not necessarily opposed to streaming subscription services if they're good. Now, CBS All Access, it's not the worst streaming platform ever. It just doesn't have a lot of content that I give a crap about. The one thing it does have is a library of all Star Trek television. And I do like that. But as far as most of the other stuff, because I've said it before, and I continue to maintain, CBS doesn't know how to make an original show. Every one of their shows is the same damn show. There's like 3 shows on CBS that they just replay 17 times a week. Tom says, "I can't recharge at medical room. Does not seem to be working." Well, why'd you break the medical room? Why'd you break it? I don't know. That's kind of bizarre. Try going into the cryopod and then come back out and go into the cryopod, exit the game, reload the game, and then try it. See if that works. How about calling the shuttle the Shatnerian? Well, if I was going to do anything with William Shatner, I would just call it the Shatner. I think that's good because most people would know that was a dedication to Shatner. And in fact, I would probably go to the end credits of Star Trek VI and replicate Shatner's actual signature on there, which I think that would be cool. And then I get sued by William Shatner. If this helps you get hope, I know a 70-year-old family friend that finally had his knees operated on, suffering for years, and now he's better than ever in his life. Yeah, and Hector, that's exactly what I'm hoping. I've been walking with a limp because of this damn knee for over a decade, and I don't even remember what it's like to not walk with a limp. So, yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. Mr. Miles says, why does a runabout qualify as a ship? It has more in common with a shuttle. That's a good question. I would guess that because the runabouts, if are actually equipped, they're large enough to, like, they're correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they're about the size of a motorhome. They're, where a shuttlecraft is more like the size of a big minivan. And so the runabouts actually have quarters where you can sleep, and they have replicators for food and stuff. They're intended to where a small crew, like a runabout crew of 2 or 3 people, could live on one for an extended period of time. Whereas a shuttlecraft has really no facilities aboard it aside from 7 chairs and a toilet. So I think that's really the difference. And there is Vapor Trails 500 Filipino pesos. Thank you again, my old retired drunk military a-hole. The Shatner. Okay, yes, that should be the name of the shuttle. Call it the Doomcock. Well, you know what? If I were Dictor, I would definitely do that. But I am not Dictor Van Doomcock, so I will not be doing that. Luke says, I'm not laughing at the number 23. I'm asking you to play 23 because the best super chat just happened to be the 23rd, which I find funny. Gotcha. Well, in that case, Luke, I apologize for the misunderstanding, or as we say in America, pardon my French. Yes. So, thank you, Luke. I do appreciate it. And let's see. Kelly's talking about waffles. Mr. Miles says first. A little delayed there. John says, while a runabout is a lot smaller than a standard starship, it's a lot larger than a shuttlecraft, not to mention faster and better armed. Very true. A runabout, keep in mind that the runabouts were able to hold their own, maybe not indefinitely, but in their first encounter, there was, not counting the disabled one, there were 2 runabouts and a Galaxy-class starship taking on a small squadron of Jem'Hadar fighters. The Jem'Hadar won the battle, but guess what? The runabouts actually did better than a Galaxy-class starship in that fight. So runabouts are not to be underestimated. Let's see. Keely, says, if you hit 10,000 subscribers, you need to celebrate by going to Waffle House. I absolutely will, but I'll probably do something more than that. But we'll find out when that day comes. And I think you have a 70s Star Trek technical manual. You should find that ship. The Tomy is in there. Oh, as far as, yes, I do have the original Starfleet technical manual. It happens to be right here, actually, right next to my Doomcock certification. Was it a Constitution class ship? Because this has the unofficial complete lineup of all of Starfleet. Let's see. I know it's spelled with a P, so no. So it's not a Constitution class. The Pompeii is a destroyer. The Pontiac. That's interesting. Let's see. Pegasus is a scout. There it is. The Ptolemy is, in fact, a tug. This is the class of ship. Class 1 transport tug. Later, of course, somewhat adapted to become the Miranda class. And you can see right there is the name of the ship, NCC 3801. It has an asterisk saying that that is the class ship. So it is actually the Ptolemy class tug. There you go. We learned something new today. So thank you, Dan. Shuttlecraft name, SuperChat. All right. Roxas says, dude, I totally have the name for your shuttle. It's so obvious. It's USS Equinox. There is a Trek canon counterpart. That's true, but keep in mind, the ship that the shuttle is associated with is the Enterprise. The shuttle is, and you wouldn't name the shuttle the Equinox on the Enterprise. The shuttle's always named after a person. At least, I don't think there's an exception to that. If someone can find an exception, then we can work with that. You should call it the Anti-Trekker with the address for either the website or the channel. Maybe get a few viewers out of curiosity. I was actually thinking about doing something like that, but it seemed kind of cheesy. Let's see. Vile says, basically need a new graphics card with NVIDIA. Well, go get one. Ptolemy. Oh, it's Ptolemy. Ptolemy. Thank you, Commander. I'm horrible. Cleopatra was the Ptolemy of Egypt. Oh, okay. Ptolemy was of the Ptolemy dynasty of Egypt. Now it's okay. Now it's starting to make sense. Thank you. I'm horrible with this stuff. My dyslexia does suck, I will tell you. Just call it Anti-Trekker. Get yourself more YouTube subs. It just feels kind of cheap to do that, but I do like the idea. I may actually do the Anti-Trekker as the name of the shuttle and do the ship the Enterprise. And then, yes, I could put like a little window sticker that just says, youtube.com/Anti-Trekker for people that are curious about it. Do you remember the Dr. EMH holoprogram, Photons Be Free? Rewatch it and imagine the Burnham as the main character of it. It's basically STD. It's hilarious. You're right. I didn't think about that, but you are absolutely right. Let's see. Hector. Let's see. They're talking about the DirectX version of the game. If you connect to a server that's running DirectX 11 or higher, you won't accept the handshake. Is that what's causing your problems? Kind of makes sense. Or if you want a Star Trek reference, how about the Duan? The Duan would be a good one too. So, but now I'm leaning towards the Anti-Trekker just because, well, that's me. The Protector, I do like the Protector, but the Protector is not a USS. That's a NESA, I think. Antrigger, I heard that STD Season 3, but I heard that STD Season 3 there, but in the 32nd century. Yes, they will be in the 32nd. Or is it the 32nd century? Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see. Luke says, Anti-Trekker, I can't stand the DCU Harley. Suicide Squad is by far the worst movie until Justice League came out, of course. Yeah, Justice League is definitely the worst of the DCEU. I would say this, of the first, Man of Steel I liked, Batman v Superman I liked. I didn't love them, but I liked both of those films. Wonder Woman I thought was definitely the best of the opening 3 movies. I thought Wonder Woman was really, really solid, just lacked a little originality. Then Suicide Squad was like, what the hell is this? It was just a hot mess. And then we got Justice League, which was just a giant steaming pile of diarrhea poured on top of those other movies. Now, the stupid thing is, despite all this, Suicide Squad is now the first movie in the DCEU to get a sequel. Does not make any sense. And Vapor Trail with another 125 Filipino pesos. Thank you, my friend. I truly appreciate it. Even though I know that's like, if you're a Filipino, so 125 Filipino pesos is like 38 cents or something. But thank you. I do appreciate it. I'm just teasing, I have no idea what that is. But we have 2 Trek shows, The Expanse and The Orville. STD is not Trek. Name your new SUV, the Phantom Menace. That's actually not bad either. The problem with the Phantom Menace is that I'm trying to think of how that would look in that cursive style, but I do like it. Aberjam says, got it. The USS Bender Bending Rodriguez. You could stamp the rear fender with "Bite my shiny metal ass." That would actually be funny. As if you put on a big chrome bumper on the back of your car and then etched into it "Bite my shiny metal ass." Granted, that wouldn't be the smartest thing to do if you lived in this area because people would find that offensive. But if you were in an area that was not as conservative, shall we say. And even though it's not super conservative here, it's just that people like being polite. Mr. Ross says, the Delta Flyer had room for sleeping and eating. It was still classed as a shuttle, right? Well, the Delta Flyer is kind of a unique vehicle. And so it was technically, because keep in mind that shuttles are assigned to a ship. Or a base, and a shuttle is used to transport people from one place to another, and that's pretty much it. As opposed to a starship is a ship that is not necessarily, you don't park a starship in another starship. A starship can be assigned to a base or a sector, but not another ship. And so the Delta Flyer would be if it was considered a starship, would be the only starship assigned to another starship. Or call it the Anti-Caroga. Nobody would get that, and people from New York might find that offensive. Maybe the crew STD is so uptight because there's no toilets on the Discovery. That could be, but I think the entire ship is in fact a toilet. What was that? Something detected. I couldn't quite hear it. Thomas says, you need to repaint 2 cryopods. Pirates grinder them yesterday and couldn't do gold. No problem. I will get that taken care of for you. Runabouts, I think, have their own registry, whereas shuttles tend to have registers of their home location. That's true as well, yes. The runabouts had their own unique NCC number, whereas a shuttle puts NCC and then the number of the ship it's assigned to, and then a sequential number based on the number of vehicles on that ship. Which, of course, we learned in Star Trek Discovery, for a typical Constitution-class ship should mean, like 4,000 of them or something. Remember to set chat to live, smash the like button, tickle the subscribe button, share via socials, donate if you can, join the Patreon, screw Star Wars Explained. Yeah, what is with them? Wait, I got it. The Spaceball 1. Well, that would not fit, but that would be hilarious. I think the Delta Flyer is more like a runabout than a shuttle. Well, I can see that, John, but as far as when we look at how it was used as a shuttle. I think the Ptolemy was one of the single nacelle designs. No, actually, it was the tug. Just looked it up. What was the actual size of a runabout? Can you look it up? Once you did, do me a favor and bring up the American Space Shuttle size just to stick it to those who say it's not a shuttle. All right, Luke. Well, I don't know the actual size of a runabout, but that's easy enough thanks to the miracles of the interwebs. And here, I'll even... let's see. What are you doing in there, Thomas? Setting off alarms? All right, so let's take a look here. So, how long is a Federation runabout? All right, runabouts impulse. Okay, runabouts dimensions are 23.1 meters, 76 feet long, 13.7 meters, 45 feet wide, and 5.4 meters, 18 feet high. So 23 meters. Hey, we're talking about the number 23 today, so 23 comes up again. And so now let's see. How long is the American Space Shuttle? Let's see. Design, process, development, testing. Let's see. Let's try American Space Shuttle dimensions. All right. There's the height, but what's the length? Let's see. What's the size of a space shuttle? Okay. 122 feet long compared to 76. So the American Space Shuttle is approximately 50 feet longer than a runabout. Now, that might make it sound like, well, the runabout's pretty small. If you have not seen the American Space Shuttle, it is freaking huge. Let's see. And runabout is midway between a starship and a shuttle. Dental flare is midpoint between a shuttle and a runabout. That's actually an interesting way to put it. The shuttle name, who is that? Who is that one TOS character that was in the most TOS episodes? I forgot his name. Oh, shoot. You're not talking about Kyle. You're talking... Oh, man. I can picture him, but I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Let's see. I'm going to just get to stuff that's addressed to me because I'm falling way behind, and I got to get things going, or I'm not going to get anything done today. And I only have 2 days for the surgery. I got to get a lot of stuff done around the house here, and I got to try to get my some video work done. Let's see. Answering a perfect end to STD would be Avery Brooks appear as a writer from Deep Space Nine and a psychiatrist holding up the script to STD to tell him it's writing like this that got you committed. Yeah, that's you do. What's the name of that episode then where Cisco was actually a writer in the early 20th century? I'm for some reason spacing it. We've talked about that episode before. You make it a sequel to that episode. And so that way he is actually the, he's in an institution writing about Michael Burnham. Apparently, if you look visually at the Delta Flyer leaving the shuttle bay, apparently, if you look visually at the Delta Flyer leaving the shuttle bay, so it wouldn't actually fit. Not sure what you mean. Star Trek Wrath of Fandom. That would be really long. Just arrived at my class. Take care. Good. Congratulations. Thank you, my friend. Darth Maul says the USS Crawford. I thought about the Crawford, but I think Anti-Trekker would probably be better just because that might drive a little traffic to the channel. Plus, it makes sense because it's me. No joke. The sheriffs in my area once had a "will kick your ass" in the back of their squad cars, but people got pissy about it. Even in liberal Cali seems frowned upon. Well, that's because here's the thing, and this is not. I'm not picking a fight as far as liberals or conservatives or anything, but think about it. Liberals tend to be more sensitive about police violence, right? Conservatives tend to say, "Oh, the police have to do their job, and we need strong police." Liberals are like, "No. If they arrest you and they squeeze the handcuffs on too much, it's it's abuse." So I could see why if you're in a liberal area, people would take great offense to that. Where in a conservative area, they probably wouldn't. Vile Mike's got to get to work. Insert good relative time period here. Obligatory plug. New TOS review uploaded last Sunday. Check it out. Absolutely, it's a great one. I make a brief appearance, and Vile Child is at the top of her game. Gary says, "Hey, Tracker, congrats." Thank you, Gary. Chief Cook says, "Edger, what's the age for someone who can join Starfleet and retire from it?" Well, that's a good question. If Starfleet is analogous to the United States military, as it is in most things, then you would be able to join when you were 18 and you could retire after 20 years. However, in Picard era, at least, it seems like, well, you don't need to make money and you can just do whatever the hell you want. So you can join it whenever the hell you want. You can quit whenever the hell you want. Doesn't make any difference, which I don't buy. In Voyager Caretaker, I think there's a shuttle that took Tom Paris to Deep Space Nine that said Enterprise D on it. I didn't catch that, but that would be a good catch to check out. On the season finale, SGD shuttlecraft poured out Discovery like diarrhea. What do you think the call signs of those shuttlecraft scenes in that episode? Yeah, that... What about Captain's Yacht and Voyager's unused Aeroflyer? Are they shuttles or ships? If they're as big as a runabout but assigned to ships. The Captain's Yacht and the Aeroflyer would be shuttles because they're just basically like luxury shuttles. They're shuttles that are personal transports as opposed to transports for the entire crew. TOS shuttles, a different size when used in the animated series, or apparently in the animated series, they actually show a couple of different types of shuttles in the TOS era. And so, because that was a nice thing about the animated series, is that they could experiment with stuff that they couldn't afford to do practically. TOS shuttle, I just read that, Far Beyond the Stars, Far Beyond the Stars. Anti-Trekker shuttle is Anti-trigger shuttle is a skiff, runabout, or is a sloop. Well, you see, that here you're probably technically correct, Surf. I'm not a sailor, so I wouldn't know. I don't know the difference between a skiff and a sloop. I've heard the terms, but I don't know the difference. Vapor says, it's 2 a.m. here. I'm wrecked. Gotta go. Time difference is a bitch. Live long. Thank you, Vapor. Have a good one, my friend. And thank you for your generosity. I truly appreciate it. And I hope you have many good years in the Philippines there, assuming you're not leaving. The Enterprise and Discovery had a load of shuttlecrafts coming out of it. Also, USS Kelvin 2009 Star Trek film. Yeah. But the Kelvin shuttles, I could at least find somewhat realistic. They didn't have hundreds of them. They had maybe a couple of dozen. And they showed the entire landing bay area, and you could see how they could fit those ships in there. The ships in the last episode of Discovery made no sense. They had over 1,000 shuttles. The Enterprise D had a captain's yacht, but it was only to the Enterprise E did we see one get launched. True. Mr. Rouse says, yes, it's a goof, a big mistake on Voyager. The Delta Flyer wouldn't fit through Voyager's shuttle there. I never noticed that. That's funny. They make it look like it will, but it wouldn't. That's really interesting. I never caught that. I never caught that. Darth Maul says the Probert or Sternbach or Matt Jeffries. Of those, I would pick Matt Jeffries, since he's the one that gave us this visual style in the first place. And Josh says, hail Doomcock. Oh wait, wrong stream. Hail Anti-Trigger. Thank you. I think, Josh, you jerk. Everybody's got to be a comedian these days. All right, guys. So with that, I am going to wrap it up because I got a lot to... Oh, but now I can't because Luke just threw €5 into the chat. Thank you so much, Luke. It says, my point is the runabout size isn't enough to classify it as a starship. The crew compartment doesn't cut it either. The function... It's the function that matters. I get what you're saying, Luke. You're right that, well, because size obviously is not the big definer of a starship, because a runabout is dwarf. Like a runabout could probably fit on the in the Enterprise's D's landing bay, maybe. It'd be a tight fit, but it could probably squeeze in there. However, I do think that the primary thing is, what is the purpose of the vehicle? If the purpose of a vehicle is simply to transport people from a ship to a base and vice versa, then, or from a ship to a planet and vice versa, then yeah, it's a shuttle. If it is a standalone vehicle that can complete missions on its own and everything and doesn't require a mothership to function, it's a starship. And the runabout clearly falls into the classification of a starship based on that. And where a shuttle does not. A shuttle does require it to, because shuttles have limited fuel, shuttles have limited range, and they have almost no accoutrements aboard. Mr. Miles says, remember to check Skype after stream. I will. I got a couple of you got to talk to. You guys just won't let me get a break. Wesley says, hey, man. Darn, I missed the stream. You sure did, my friend. And Luke says, number 11. Mine goes to 11. You mean this one, I hope, Luke? Or do you mean Super Chat 11? Tell me.
But here's what we're going to do. It's a beautiful day in Kuroga. Of course, it's time to protect the Kuroga homelands. Ah, shit! We're already taking shots. What the hell was that? What? Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Who shot me? Who shot me? Where's the body? There it is. God damn it. God damn it. It would help if you told me where people were shooting from. Alamarine, if you can see, Alamarine, you'll come with me. Alamarine.
Ah, yes. Good old bird of prey. Always a good sport, but always sucking at said sport. So yes, I will check the live stream or the Skype after the live stream. Just a minute. Shows like Star Trek DS9, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Charmed, SGA did episodes where someone wakes up to find themselves Asylum Institute told them that what they think isn't real. Yeah, but of course that means that with the differences with Discovery, that would be the final episode, and that would be the only satisfying end to the series that could explain all the canon problems. And Rock Solid puts $2.30 into the chat. Odd number, but thank you, my friend. Says, I'll show you hooker-client relations, please. You know, I know which one is hooker-client relations. See, that's you guys are mean to me because now I don't know which one that is, so I got to try and figure that out. All right, let's see. Where is is it under general discussion? I think. Let's see. Known super chats by number. All right, so let's see. Fitting how to manage Doctor Who, Luke's right, Lord Chips. Where is it? Well, man, fitting confusing. Brown and Pinhead, Flush Lore. Doctor Who, wait, is this right? Luke's surprised, Andrea surprises his house, Deadpool, door trips, removing Vader's helmet, Lore makes YouTube go. She's in, new Joker, Excalibur, Swedish show, Swing Spot, Birthday. Where is it? I'm missing it. I'm trying to find it. $2.30 plan 23. Gotcha. That makes more sense. Pinhead, Flush Lore, Doctor Who, Luke Surprise, and Deadpool Lore, Lore Trips, removing Vader's helmet, Lore makes you two go, White versus Red, Cheap Bleach. Cheap Bleach, that's what it is. Okay, number 17 is Cheap Bleach.
Hey, you want to learn about Jesus?
There's no such thing as hooker-client confidentiality.
So good, you just gotta watch it again, and again, and again. And of course, remember, look right behind Lore on the street there. There is BIRDOPREY 5 in his Jeep. Just after paying Lore, yes, yet another satisfied customer. Oh man, that's just wrong. All right, guys, take it easy, and thank you all for 2 incredible years. And here's to whatever the hell the future brings, because it'll be different. Oh. Now you say you want, okay, you want Falling Palpy for my mega chat. Where is, let's see, is that one? I'm trying to remember, did we find that one? Let me see. Not pronouncing it, our turd, Lawn Master. No, I need to dig that one out, because I think for some reason we lost that one. MEGGACHAT, Solar Sings, Gun Safety, Feces Norhead, the Special Klingon. Let's see. Dang it. Surf, I'm going to have to... I wish I knew where that one was. Spinning Spock. Yeah, I don't think I have that one available right now. So is there another one that I can do for you, Surf? If you throw another one at me, I will play it for you, but I can't play it unless you tell me. So I'm going to give you approximately 10 seconds from the time that I see my hand do this. See, that way I can wait for the delay. So I'm staring at the screen right now. And when I see my hand go up and do that, then I know that you have 10 seconds. Wesley says, has it been 2 years already? Why do I keep watching this show? Good question, Wesley. Just to be a jerk? Is that what it is? Because I'm pretty sure that's what you were doing there. So you're just being a jerk. So, yeah. I think it's just to be a jerk. Good day, sir. You get nothing. You have no idea how much Joshua loves that line. He absolutely loves Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. Mr. Miles is saying, Hypnoturd! Well, it's not up to you, though. It's up to Surf Tectonics. That, man, I can't talk today. And, it's funny because, now, let's see. You didn't do anything. I didn't see it, so I'm going to assume. Oh, there you go. I was just messing with you. All right. Okay. Don't mess with me. I'm old and easily fooled. And by the way, I got this email from this prince in Nigeria. It's really cool. All I have to do is send him some money, and then I am going to be... And then Wesley throws $2 into the chat. Thank you, Wesley. You don't need to apologize. If you weren't a jerk, you wouldn't be Wesley Crusher. Well, Wesley's not really a jerk. Wesley's just a dweeb, but you're a jerk, so that's a good thing. You're definitely better than that Wesley Crusher. And you want to see Lore Reloaded making YouTube go. And Mr. Ross says, I got that same email. We're both going to be rich. Absolutely. You know the funny thing, Mr. Miles? I actually got that message as a Skype friend request. I was completely blown away by that.
Sir, we're being hailed. On screen. What is your problem?
Hey, you want to learn about Jesus?
There's no such thing as hooker-client confidentiality.
Wow, this is like really messed up now.
I have a
Hold on,
YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Lore Reloaded.
Let me guess, their rubber band broke, right?
I make YouTube go.
All right, let's try that
Sir,
again.
we are being hailed. On screen. What is your problem?
I am Lore.
Do you need help?
I have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Lore Reloaded.
Let me guess, their rubber band broke, right?
I make YouTube go.
There we go. Thank you again, Wesley. And yes, the Spanish National Lottery. Good friend of mine, Professor Farnsworth, won that, and that was awesome, wasn't it?